In this video, we're going to talk about Monsterverse Godzilla's intent. There are many spoilers, obviously, so if you haven't seen the Monsterverse movies, stop and go watch those first, or you will be unable to understand what I'm covering. I've heard a lot about how Godzilla is acting on instincts, impulses, and personal vendettas. Even that Godzilla would have crushed Dr. Serizawa in the scene where the humans revive Godzilla with a timed warhead. Well, I think it's safe to say that most of these are decent but surface level theories. I can see how it may seem like Godzilla is just an animalistic brute, not a creature with intelligence that's capable of empathy or thought for lesser creatures like humans. So let me explain why Godzilla is more complex and benevolent than he is believed to be. There are plenty of examples that show Godzilla is good, many of them overlooked, like when Godzilla avoids collision with the Navy ships on his way to Honolulu by diving underneath them. This example can be argued that he avoided collision with these ships for the sake of convenience. But then again, what about when Godzilla dug underneath ships in the battle in San Francisco? It would have been more convenient for him to just go through the ships. So if he is doing this for the sake of convenience, then why would he dig underneath them? Or, an even bigger question, if Godzilla is just a brute who only thinks with primal instincts, why does he not retaliate when the humans attacked him in Honolulu and San Francisco? If he views us as nothing more than part of his environment, then why doesn't he just swat us away or kill the soldiers who attacked him, like any other animal would? Like when humans swat away mosquitoes, bees, spiders, or any other things that are deemed lesser than them. It's said that Godzilla is a force of nature, an alpha predator that restores balance. This implies that Godzilla is just an animal who just follows his primal instincts, which makes it easy to assume that he may not or barely be capable of thought. However, based on the evidence from the films, he obviously has high intelligence, or at the very least has shown signs of it. Like when he took inconvenient measures to avoid humans in his path while swimming or moving, and avoid conflict with humans even when under fire. Digging underneath Navy ships and ignoring gunfire even when he was critically hurt, when human gunfire caused him to bleed from his gills. His gills being a weak spot that when damage is inflicted on his gills, causes him to behave more aggressively and fight harder. Why he is passive to humans is unclear, but there are some reasons that can explain his behavior towards humans. One being that Godzilla sees humans as part of the ecosystem or natural order. Another being that he may view humans as a useful ally. Then there's the possibility that he may remember a time when humans worship titans, and may have empathy for us as humans have empathy for other animals. Godzilla's intelligence can also be examined in his face-to-face encounters with humans, like when he and Fort Brody eyed one another. There seemed to be a look of acknowledgement in the facial expression of Godzilla, for any other monster in his position may have held anger in their stare. Anger for the constant bombardment the monster received. This was not the case for his encounter with Brody. The second encounter Godzilla had with humans was with Dr. Serizawa, Serizawa being very empathetic and full of respect for Godzilla, while Godzilla had more of an inquisitive look in his eyes. Where again, Godzilla had many reasons to be angry with humans, as stated in the previous mention of humans attacking him at the Golden Gate Bridge, plus not to mention the bomb, the oxygen destroyer, that the humans launched that technically killed Godzilla by causing his heart to stop. However, for some reason, Godzilla held no anger towards Serizawa. Maybe because he recognized Serizawa from San Francisco, or maybe due to him being too wounded to do much, or most likely confused on why there was another person there in his lair with him. So I can see why some people would wonder why Godzilla was not angry in this scene. But why would he be angry at Serizawa? As an individual, Serizawa never did anything to harm Godzilla. Not to mention, Godzilla's facial expression and body language shows no sign of anger or harmful intent towards Serizawa. There is a moment when Godzilla showed anger towards humans. When Godzilla was revived by the nuke Serizawa placed, he heard the alpha calls from the Orca. He showed aggression towards the submarine, since later realized by Mark Russell. The alpha call that was being played at the time was a combination between human and Godzilla bioacoustics. Godzilla must have recognized the Gojira bioacoustics due to him being the same species, therefore not falling for the trick as the other side Titans do. As Godzilla loomed over the submarine, he could have sank the sub just to be careful. As explained before, he has good reasons to be angry, and many of them. But he doesn't sink the sub. Even if he wasn't angry and just thought the sub posed a threat, he could have still destroyed it, just to be on the safe side. If the sub was a possible threat, most Titans would have destroyed it without much thought. Instead, Godzilla examines the submarine, where he meets eyes with Mark Russell again. Mark has a sort of worried expression, which then snaps Godzilla out of his aggression for a moment that can be seen by the change of his expression before he goes back to his aggressive expression. Godzilla almost shows a face of pity as he reads Mark's expression. It is easy to assume Godzilla, being the apex predator that he is, thinks like most animals, and has a basic primal mind. However, based on the evidence, this assumption that his intellect is just primal instincts is highly unlikely, if not absurd. Godzilla is much more intelligent than we give him credit for, and how he views us is more complex than just the instincts of a primal animal mind. It is known that Godzilla was awoken by atomic tests in 1954, and that Monarch at first tried to kill him with nuclear testing. At the time, not knowing that they were only feeding him nuclear energy. Since then, Godzilla has coexisted with humans despite their initial hostility towards him. But how long has Godzilla's species coexisted with humanity, and has he ever shown hostility towards humanity? Well, the Titanus Gojira species coexisted with humans since the start of early human civilization, as depicted in ancient artwork. Titanus Gojira and a few other species of titans were worshipped as the first gods, Titanus Gojira and Titanus Masura being the two main species worshipped by early humans. This is indicated by the numerous amounts of Gojira depictions, and that Titanus Masura had a temple built dubbed Temple of the Moth, showing that both species of titans were close to humanity. Human and titan coexistence would be broken, however, when the humans tried to use the titans for warfare. Despite this outcome, titan species like Gojira and Masura would still keep a watchful eye over the planet and its inhabitants. Going back to the rebirth scene with Godzilla and Dr. Serizawa, it seems that Godzilla has more of an understanding towards humans based on what we've seen in 2014 and King of Monsters. When you really examine the evidence, the thought of Godzilla crushing Serizawa or any human intentionally seems absurd. It seems more suiting for Kong. I know that he only seems to crush quote-unquote bad people, but bad or good, Godzilla has never intentionally killed a single person in the Monsterverse. It's possible that he could, but highly unlikely. As we've seen in the rebirth scene where he is face to face with Mark Russell, he has some level of self-control and obviously intelligence. Godzilla is just a mindless brute. He most likely would have fought against humans attacking him, or at least destroyed the Monarch submarine, and plowed through the military fleets in Godzilla 2014. Hey, it's your boy Soy here, and I hope you liked this video. I'm glad you guys stick with me towards the end. I'll be doing more of these videos. I just been going around, and I've seen that a lot of other channels are not covering some things that I wish they would cover. I thought since I had so much knowledge on Godzilla and the Monsterverse that I would just decide to do it myself. I feel like D-Man kind of putting Kong on a pedestal and not showing why Godzilla is good. Not that I have anything against Kong, but Come on. Really? Kong, where were you when Ghidorah was trying to terraform the Earth? Come on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. All that fun stuff. As always, long live the king. And this is your boy Soy, signing out.